Presidential candidate Andrew Yang rallied supporters Monday night in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The Yang campaign is touting fundraising success following Yang's announcement on the Freedom Dividend pilot program. The plan would give 10 families a $1,000 monthly allowance for 1 year and would highlight his universal basic income proposal. But some of his fellow 2020 Democratic presidential hopefuls have expressed skepticism with that plan. Over the weekend, Yang offered this defense.
Oh, well, the Freedom Dividend's catching on like wildfire around the country because Americans realize it's not about the money. I've been personally giving the Freedom Dividend to several American families for months now. And when I saw one of the recipients, Kyle Christensen in Iowa, a few weeks ago, he told me he'd use some of the money to buy a guitar. And he was playing shows locally, and he was beaming. He said he was playing shows for the first time in years. For him, it was a guitar. For Jody Fassey in New Hampshire, it was car repairs. For Mallory Shannon in Florida, it was going back to school.
Earlier, I spoke with CBS News campaign reporter Nicole Sganga about what the Yang team is saying about the responses to the proposal.
Well, Andrew Yang announced his pilot program for the Freedom Dividend during the third Democratic debate in his introductory remarks. And in the 72 hours that followed, they received 450,000 entries from supporters, from folks that were watching the debate, folks that heard about it, trying to apply into that program. In addition to that, they received over $1 million in campaign donations. In addition to that, they are collecting email information from supporters who are applying into this program, and the campaign says that 90% of those emails from those entries, from those campaign donations are brand new. So certainly a good prospect for this campaign that fundraised $2.7 million during their second quarter, and just in 72 hours has raised $1 million. So certainly good for quarter three fundraising prospects, Elaine.
Interesting. Well, some other 2020 presidential candidates, as we noted, have expressed skepticism with Yang's plan, and there are also questions about its legality. What are you hearing in response to those concerns, and what is the campaign really hoping to do with this initiative?
Well, I spoke on the phone just now with a former FEC Federal Election Commissioner, Michael Toner. He told me that there are some concerns around what's called personal use restriction, which prohibits candidates from using any sort of campaign finances raised during their tenure towards personal use. That said, currently the Federal Election Commission, which is made up of 6 members, only has 3. They need a quorum of 4 members in order to investigate any possible campaign finance violation. So their hands are tied at the current moment, but certainly a number of comments and skepticism from campaign finance officials in Washington, D.C. And yes, candidates on the campaign trail have been weighing in on this, suggesting that it's not proper use of campaign fundraising. Of course, you saw Andrew Yang's response there was that, other candidates have been using their money towards paid advertisements, towards big consulting dollars. Why not give that money directly back to the people? Of course, that's Andrew Yang's argument.
Well, Yang is holding a rally Monday night there where you are in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's right in the middle of several college campuses. What does that tell us about his base of support, and what is next for him this week?
Absolutely. So I'm right on the edge of Harvard University's campus. Certainly a lot of young people behind me, not just from Harvard, but from Emerson nearby, MIT, Boston College, University of Boston. So a lot of young people here tonight, very excited about what they call futuristic proposals from candidate Andrew Yang. Tomorrow, the candidate heads to Philadelphia for the AFL-CIO conference, where he will be rallying with labor union members there, and then hosts yet another big campaign rally in Philadelphia. Andrew Yang drew thousands to his campaign rallies in both New York City and San Francisco. Not too many people here yet. I would say we're more in the hundreds than in the thousands, but it's early yet.
It is early. Well, switching topics, I know you've been reporting on this. Senator Bernie Sanders is making changes to his team in New Hampshire just 5 months before the state's first in the nation primary. What more can you tell us about that, Nicole?
Absolutely. So Senator Bernie Sanders parted ways with his senior New Hampshire advisor, Kurt Ehrenberg, who was spotted on the campaign trail with Senator Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire all throughout his 2015-2016 campaign through the Granite State. So certainly a shocking move. In addition to that, New Hampshire State Director Joe Caiozzo has been moved from his position in New Hampshire and is now shifting gears, becoming Massachusetts State Director. He will be replaced by a longtime ally of Senator Bernie Sanders, Shannon Jackson, who ran the senator's re-election campaign in Vermont back in 2018. Now, a number of folks on the steering committee and political kingmakers in New Hampshire say that there have been concerns around Bernie Sanders' Granite State operations starting late, not knocking on doors until June 1st, and not really making as much headway as progressive rival Senator Elizabeth Warren. So the campaign here hoping to shift the momentum. Of course, Senator Bernie Sanders won New Hampshire back in 2016 by over 22 points.
Speaking of Senator Warren, the Working Families Party endorsed Senator Elizabeth Warren on Monday. The progressive group endorsed Sanders in 2016. What is the significance of this endorsement?
Absolutely. And so for Senator Elizabeth Warren, who received 61% of the votes from both membership and the Working Families Party leadership, this is significant. That political party has a number of relationships with activist organizations on the ground in early states, in Super Tuesday states. They also have a good relationship with a number of card-carrying union members. So certainly this will help her from an organizational standpoint. It's also a big blow for Senator Bernie Sanders, who, as you noted, did get the support of the Working Families Party back in 2016. He also, Elaine, called the Working Families Party in 2016. He said it was the closest thing to a political party aligned with democratic socialism, of course, a stance that he identifies with. So certainly a blow for him and a helpful advance for Senator Elizabeth Warren and her campaign.
All right, Nicole Sganga for us. Nicole, thank you very much.